I think ending a divorce in general, is one of the most painful things couples have to go through. And unfortunately, in our society, it's kind of thought of as natural now. And so even friends rally around for a while, but they have no idea of what many times the partners are going through. And it's really difficult. Like, I know as a therapist, we say, keep your boundaries. That's the most important thing you can do. But it's really hard when you share a kid and when you've always been together with this person, all of a sudden to say, no, you can't come in the house. But what's essential is that you understand, even though this involves the end of your marriage, what's most important is you have to take care of you. And so when I tell you, which I'm going to tell you, the most important thing right now is you have to grieve it. It's because I see what happens to people who don't grieve the divorce, who try to medicate it with drinking or other people or drugs. They're trying to numb the pain. You simply cannot do that. When you feel like crying, it's more important that you cry. It's more important that you emote. It's more important that you journal and things like this so that you can intensely feel it and then go through it, heal it, and then you will come out on the other side. Whereas if you try to numb it, it will pop up when you're dating someone else, when you're already in another marriage. And this is what destroys second and third marriages many times. So the first thing I'm going to really try to encourage you to do is feel the pain, sit with it, and do what you can to journal it, to catharsis it, to walk, to work out, to do other activities. But whatever you do, don't numb it. You don't want to be emotionally numbed. The heartache, how can you make it go quicker? You can't. That heart is going to break, and there's no way it can't. The two of you had something special. You may have raised a child in it. All your families are connected. Your finances are connected. It's hard to see a third party stepping in, making these decisions like lawyers. So the heartbreak is real. And just like other times people going through heartbreak, I say pamper yourself. Spend more time putting puzzles together. Spend more time journaling. Spend more time out in the woods, out in nature, just letting your mind go. Listen to soft music. This is a self-care time, and it's very important that you take part of that and really soak yourself in it. Why should you grieve it? You should grieve it so that these feelings won't linger and then come up and surprise you in another relationship when you already have been thinking that you've gotten through this. How long should you grieve it? Most of the time, divorces are a 1.5, 2 year period of grieving. And during that time, it's not at all uncommon to start feeling teary-eyed, to start talking about your ex, to have them come up at a very emotional time, maybe a funeral of a loved one, or a catastrophic illness of a loved one. Whatever it is, I want you to resist the temptation to go back to them, but rather to feel what you're feeling, to talk with good friends. It's wonderful if you have a therapist as well. But if you have good friends, talk to them about what you're feeling. But once again, let's focus on taking care of you and your needs, especially if you're a mom or dad taking care of your child. How should you behave when your ex visits? Do not let them in, if that's possible. If you guys are sharing children, have the child ready. Have them ready at the door. Don't badmouth your ex. Don't say anything derogatory. Tell them both, I hope you have a fantastic time. Daddy or mommy is here to get you. Try to make it as easy for your child as you want. As you can. Remember, you're setting boundaries, and that's why I don't want your ex coming into your home. They don't have a right to come in and see your new home. That is yours exclusively, and you should be able to have that without someone else invading that boundary, especially if your home is really private to you and special to you. Should you keep track of your ex? No, what they do in the future is none of your business. As long as if you share a child, you know they're taking good care of your child, then anything they do socially or if they're dating someone, it's going to be better for you if you're not looking at posts on social media. Why? Because posts are about promoting the good side of ourselves. No one is going to be weeping on their social media and saying, man, I really messed up. I really screwed up. I should not have done this. If that happens right away, then what I would do is I would just ignore it, and you're not going to see it if you're not checking. So for that part, remember, you've got enough healing yourself, work on your own issues and what you're going to try and resolve before ever getting involved in another relationship. And should you rely on your ex for help, I hear this a lot. It's one of the main ways couples get back together. They end up having sex with their ex, and then it just prolongs the grieving and that period of just regret and feeling terrible about yourself. I'm already going to caution you, set firm boundaries. Rely on your good friends, maybe your parents if you need something fixed. Ask your sister or other friends that you know can help you or give you ideas. It's a good idea to stop relying on your ex for anything. If it has to do with the kids, you may need to reconsider some of the things that you could help with the kids, because remember, it's all about your co-parenting, and really that child's welfare is really dependent on both of you. But make sure if you ever intervene to help take care of the child during a time that your spouse is reaching out for help, that your boundaries are intact. And it's still going to mean that you're separate but together co-parenting, and that's all it means. It is a little bit more complicated with kids, and this is why I say if you're divorcing with children, then I really highly recommend you have a therapist, just for a backup, just for somebody you can talk to and go over stuff. Maybe you have a gut feeling, what I did wasn't right, I probably should have done this. Talk it over with your counselor, and they'll be able to redirect and give you ideas for next time, because this transition is going to be ongoing. And as I said, it's 1.5 to 2 years. Just take it, pace it. It's like anything else you've done in your life that you've had a process that was difficult to transition. What it is today is not going to be how it is in a month or two. So knowing that, just buckle up. We'll get through it together. You're going to be able to do this. But it is painful, and I'm going to acknowledge that for you. I just think divorces are very painful, and I don't think we give the couples going through it enough support. So let me try and help you. Watch this video, send it to your ex, and maybe the two of you can create a wonderful co-parenting situation where your child will get only the minimal effects of having a broken home.